years, scientists have conducted experiments on animals, whether it be to find cures or to biologically change the animal's genetics. While most of the time the experiments don't work, sometimes the scientist strikes luck and they end up creating an animal, having a mouse grow a human ear, or a cow with more muscle than Arnold Schwarzenegger. These definitely aren't the kinds of animals that you would want to make a pet out of. Here are some of the most mysterious animals created by science. Number 7. Zombie dogs. In 1940, Soviet scientists released a video of several dog heads that they'd kept alive for several hours. The heads were able to wiggle their ears in response to auditory stimuli and could even lick their mouths. According to the scientists behind the so-called zombie dog experiment, the canines had been kept alive through an artificial blood circulation system. In 2005, American scientists from the University of Pittsburgh conducted a similar experiment. They flushed a number of dogs of all their blood before replacing it with oxygen and sugar-filled saline. The dogs went into cardiac arrest and were clinically declared dead. Few hours later, the dogs then received blood transfusions and an electric shock. Lo and behold, the dogs were resurrected. Many of them appeared a little disheveled, but pretty much as though nothing had happened to them. A report of this experiment, which was published in the Yearbook of Intensive Care and Emergency Medicine, argued that this breakthrough could potentially save lives. The technique could be used to treat people who are hemorrhaging blood too quickly for doctors to repair their injuries. With sufficient funding, it's thought that human trials of this procedure could occur within the next 2 years. Number 6. Sudden death mosquito. It is estimated that mosquitoes are responsible for more than 1 million deaths a year because they spread deadly diseases like malaria. Therefore, in 2016, UK-based biotechnology firm Oxitec have concocted a controversial solution to the mosquito menace, which would effectively involve driving the entire species into extinction. The company have genetically engineered malformed male and female Aedes aegypti mosquitoes, whose offspring would most certainly die before reaching maturity, hence the nickname the sudden death mosquito. If hordes of these mosquitoes were introduced to the general mosquito population, it is thought that numbers of the malaria-carrying pests would quickly start to dwindle. In 2009, Oxitec released 19,000 of these dead-end mosquitoes on the Grand Cayman Islands in the Caribbean, followed by 3 million more the following year. According to the company, the trial was a complete success, as it eliminated 80% of the mosquito population. However, it wasn't well received in the scientific community, as scientists are divided on the morality of eliminating the species altogether. Furthermore, destroying all mosquitoes could damage fragile ecosystems, as it would jeopardize the eating habits of the fish and birds that feed on them. Number 5. Lemur rat. In China, the rich are running out of exotic pets to spend their money on. Therefore, the Chinese medical and scientific research companies are putting more money into crossbreeding animals. The most successful and financially rewarding breed so far is the lemur rat, which is a cross between a lemur and a cat. It retains the soft fur of the cat and the coloring, but has the striped tail and yellow eyes commonly found on a lemur. It is more ferocious than the average cat, but it is generally no more dangerous than a Chihuahua dog. Number 4. Vacanti mouse. 1997 was a strange year for ears. Not only did heavyweight boxer Mike Tyson bite off the ear of one of his opponents during a match, but we also got this unbelievable photo of a mouse with an ear growing out of its back. This little fella was named the Vacanti mouse after the scientist that created it, Dr. Charles Vacanti. And before we dive in too deep, it's important we let you know that this is not a real human ear. It was actually cartilage from a cow that was put into the shape of an ear. Why, you may ask? Well, this scientist actually had pure intentions with this strange experiment. He was doing research to create a proper cartilage shape so we could replace a human ear one day by implanting this ear shape. He was able to use the mouse's blood vessels to nourish the cartilage cells until they grew correctly. This cow-mouse-human ear hybrid never made it onto a human head, thankfully, because of the likelihood of rejection. As it turns out, the human body isn't exactly fond of getting cow parts attached to it. This experiment did help Dr. Vacanti in his pursuits and also provided us with this one-of-a-kind picture. We're going to consider that a success. Number 3. Umbuku lizard. This creature is the only one on the list that was not designed for a practical reason, but merely to prove that it could be done. Genetic engineers in Zimbabwe, formerly Rhodesia, managed to unlock a dormant flying strand in the DNA of the Umbuku lizard, a very small and rare lizard native to Africa. It is believed that the lizard is a descendant of the pterodactyl, which lost its ability to fly some millions of years ago. To date, only 6 of these flying umbuku have been produced, and they are kept separate from the natural umbuku due to the risk of crossbreeding. Number 2. Human-pig chimera. Earlier this year, the scientific community was shaken by a potentially huge breakthrough. During an important study, scientists combined human and pig embryos to grow an extremely rare hybrid. The idea is that we would be able to grow vital human organs in pigs to use in human transplants, and putting an end to the lengthy waiting list and fatal consequences for many patients. Juan Carlos, who led the work on the creature, said that the ultimate goal is to grow functional transplantable tissue or organs, but that is just the first step in the process. The end goal might be a way off, but we have to admit that the thought of a part pig, part human animal is something that's a little scary. Number 1. Belgian blue cows. This breed of cows occurs due to a natural mutation called double muscling. This occurs when the cow lacks the protein that regulates their muscle growth. Over the years, the meat industry has been selectively breeding these animals who show this mutation so that they can produce bigger animals which provide more meat. Because of their enormous size, they often suffer a variety of health problems. Their pregnancies can be difficult, and to deliver a baby, they need a C-section. The calves have a variety of birth defects, including enlarged tongues, which can make nursing difficult and in some cases impossible. Thank you so much for watching.